Behave. Behave yourself. We're recording. Okay. Mac is, I don't know if you see him, but he's laid out here. He's not into this. He's just in my way. Mac, why don't you come up here? Come on. There you go. Lay down. Okay. See what I'm putting on? It's very easy to forget this. We're going to do lifting today. Okay. If you have issues with hands in any way, I'm telling you, when you're going to be gripping things, especially weighted things, you need some support for your hands. So a good set of weight training gloves. And if you don't have that, even a biking glove can help. And they're easy to get on, easy to get off. You don't have to fiddle with them. And they're very supportive for your joints. So that's what you got to hear about that. So what we're going to do, we're going to be using our band. Okay, so if you have a band, again, I'm saying this for the benefit of people who might join us. I think I'm cutting my head up. I'm not sure. I hope everybody can see all right. Anyway, there is an extra long band. These are short bands. These are easy to work with. There's long bands. A lot of people get those at physical therapy places and so forth. So we're going to use our band, and we're actually going to use our band to start warming up, because instead of just walking around here for 6 to 8 minutes, we're going to accelerate our warm up and get our muscles that we're going to be using engaged. So here I am with my band. I'm going to sit on my little chair, and you notice when my first sit down of the day, I have my pad on my chair. Why? Because even 2 inches is going to ease up the pull on your sit down muscles, which includes quads, gluteal, hamstrings. So I'm sitting down. See how I cross my leg? See how I'm hip hinging to go forward. I'm going to loop this around my leg. Then I'm going to step wide, and I'm going to act like I'm going to cross my leg of the other leg and lean back. And then finagle that thing around my ankles. Okay. Now, at first, I'm going to go up a little higher. When I'm going to start walking with this, I'm going to go up a little higher, because it's easier when you walk. You'll see what I'm talking about. So don't go just down to your ankles. Go up to mid-calf. Okay? So I'm here. I'm sit down on my chair, which I have 2 inches in this little pad, almost 2 inches, not quite. Then I'm going to go sit to stand. But I've got a band around my shin and my calf. Okay? So here I go. These legs come out here. Tight tummy. Lower your shoulders and drop your chin. Okay? Now we're ready. Then we're going to come here. We're not going to give it a big jump. No. We're going to squeeze our muscles and push into our heels and stand. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that again. And I'm going to do it about 4 times. Now, what you should notice is when you do the sit to stand and you have the band around your legs, your calf and your shin, you should notice when you go to stand that it's a little harder to keep your knees open. Okay? They want to go in, because that's going to make it so that they are relying on other muscles, to the stronger muscles. So we're going to go up, then we're going to go down, and we're going to start really doing that hip hinge. And I'm sitting in a 2-inch higher platform on my chair instead of going all the way down. And as you go up and down here, okay, I know I said 4, but I'm doing maybe 6. Okay, I said that to alert Kathy. She creates mutiny when I do too many. Okay, sit to stand. It's a big deal. Now, see, I'm standing here with this around my legs, right? So I'm gonna go walk, walk. Number one, it's gonna limit, don't go fast. Do not go fast. Stay wide because you don't wanna lose your band. So stay wide and just do a step by step. And you will see with that little bit of a resistance, wow, you gotta like pay attention to your lineup or things start caving really quick. See this? See this? So this is a great way to start peaking, pulling up, warming up your leg muscles, okay? And it's gonna creep up, it's gonna creep up to around your knees, that's okay. Just adjust how you're walking. See, I'm staying a little wide. It's like a wide walk, okay? See that? So it's a step, hesitate. So here's the thing, the takeaway from moving like this. Every time I take a step, I hesitate. When I see people doing something like we're doing that is changing the way they walk, they ignore and they just keep going fast. Don't go fast. Hesitate. Line yourself up, because if you don't, you will continue walking and you will very quickly be out of alignment and you can trip and fall, is the point. So anytime you change surfaces, you change where you're walking, really give yourself time to get oriented. And you see, I'm telling you this as someone with multiple joints replaced, and I know what is kind of the normal trajectory of using and working and playing and walking and doing normal activities with joints replaced. And every time I take a step, I'm going to hit this again. You'll see that I hesitate. I hesitate for a second. And in that hesitation, I quickly, just intuitively reassess how I'm lined up. I soften my joints. I lower my center of gravity. I pull in my tummy or brace, and I drop my shoulders. I do that all in just a second. Okay, so that is my my take-home message for doing a warm-up like we're doing right now, with a band actually around my mid-thigh, my mid-calf, and it's going to creep up to around to just under your knee, and that's okay. You see, because it forces me to step wide. Because if I didn't step wide, I would lose the band. It would drop very quickly down to my ankles, right? Okay. Now I want you to drop them down to your ankles. So here's the band. I'm going to move it down into my ankle position. Now, here's a caution. Very careful. If you choose to do this with us, now you can do this whole warm up without a band around your ankles, okay? If you choose to put a band around your ankles, you better have a wall close by. You better have a bar, a walking stick, this is a great time to get the walking pole out, or one of those, a mop handle, because I'm telling you, you over or under balance on this kind of a movement pattern with something that's around your ankles. If you over or under balance in a split second, you could be down in the floor. So I'm telling you, this is a very valuable modality of training for your legs, for your back. Yeah, you have to really change everything. See how I'm stepping back against this band? I have to put my heel down first, And then when I go to release this leg, I better be ready because it could slingshot you into a trajectory that you don't want. All right. That's the training of working with bands in these, I call them giant walks. Okay. So there's just a variety of ways that you can move with these, but right now I chose to just have you go front to back with a band, a stretchy band around your ankle. We started up around our mid calf, and then it would creep up to just under the knee. Okay. And I'm just doing a series of walking. And if you can get up to like 100 steps done like this, if you've been suffering from any kind of leg weakness, let's say it could be a knee issue, an ankle issue, a pulled hamstring, any of these kinds of things, you get to where you can walk. I say 100. It could be 3 sets of 100, which would be 300, which would translate to about 3 minutes to 5 minutes of walking around. It's making the walking harder, number one, and you're really keeping that band stretched. See? Now I'm going to go ahead and walk back here, and then I'm going to walk over, keep the band around my ankles to my chair. So I'm going to walk. I'm going to turn. I'm going to go pretty wide. Okay. Let me turn this chair so that you can see me better. So I'm going to step here in front of my chair. I'm going to go pretty wide. See that? Okay. Very easy when you do this, when you're going at least to your chair legs, because that's going to make you go wider. Or more, you're going to want to do weird things right in here. You're going to want to either do this or do this. I don't want you to do either. I want you to push your butt back. I want you to keep these knees tracking over your toes. I'm going to go tap, and then I'm going to come back up. And when you do that, just understand, you can't quickly take a corrective step. If you over or under balance, you're going to find yourself in the floor. Okay, that's why I want you to have a wall or a bar. I should have my bar here with me, because when I go into this, now we're going to do the hesitation again. I'm down here, I'm going to tap, then I'm going to come right back up. But what am I doing at the same time now that I have, I'm squatting to do a tap down? See, I'm not going to sit. I'm working against a resistance to keep my legs way out here. I'm going to go tap and come up. Now don't get into a rush, because many of us want to go tap, okay, come back up. I'm going to say tap and say 1001, 1002, 1003. So right here, 1001, 1002, 1003, you should definitely feel the shifting into your heel, 1001, 1002, 1003, and then back into all 4 corners of your foot. Tight tummy, breathing in through the nose, especially. Go out through the mouth if you can't help and can't go through the nose, 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay, just really try to get about 3 to 6 of these holding pattern squats. And we are pressing against a ankle band. So it's 1001, 1002, 1003. Make sure you pay attention to shifting into the heels, 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay, just two more with me. Here we go. 1001, 1002, 1003. Breath in through the nose. And 1001, 1002, 1003. And come back up. Now, immediately take one leg and just step forward, but maintain your tight, stretched band. See that? So my toes are both forward. I just took one leg forward. I'm going to take my hands and turn. Okay? So one hand is forward, One hand is trying to reach back. And what I would do with you right this moment is I would just tap right here to see where your rib cage is. Get your rib cage up, okay? Then come back. Now, get ready. Soften your knees. You're gonna step back, but you can keep it wide, okay? Say rib cage up. I'm in a semi-squat position. I'm gonna step wide up with the other leg. You ready? Step and go straight out, straight back. Okay, both feet are pointing forward. They're just in a very wide split stance. Okay, say rib cage up. Some of you are bending. Say rib cage up. Really open the chest with that arm going back. Okay, come back down. Tight tummy, tight tummy, tight tummy. Drop your shoulders. Step back. And when I say step back, you're staying very wide. Okay, take a big breath. Now we're going to come back down into the chair trajectory. And I'm going to hang out down here with the backs of my legs touching my little pad there. Okay, I'm going to feel the touch. I'm in my heels. I'm really pressing into there. I have my elbows on my thigh. If you can do it without having your elbows on your thigh, then try to do that. But if you need to, put it on there. If you can stay down here with me, stay down. If you need to take a break, take a break. Take a breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Here we go, heels. And come up. Woo! I know. Okay. Step back in, step back in. Drop. And pull the heel out of that band. Cross your leg, take the band off the toe. Get ready, we may use it again, but I want you to quickly, after you've taken it off your legs, stand up. Now take a step or two. Okay, that small of a band doing what we just did created that kind of overload where you're like, oh my gosh, it's so easy to walk around. That's what I want you to see. So if you're somebody that's recovering from any kind of problem, injury through your lower body, walking around your house for 3 to 5 minutes correctly can be a great instrument of helping you get strong in those legs again. Okay. Now we are ready to catapult into our class. And what am I going to do? I failed to tell you I was going to pick up a ball. So if you don't have a ball, pick up anything that's like a weighted, of course, a weighted cylinder would be good. A can, or let's say a bag of rice or a bag of beans. That would be fine. So that you can toss from one side to the other. But here's the deal. I'm going to toss, and I'm going to toss, and I'm going to do an exaggerated knee lift. So I'm going to toss from one hand to the other, exaggerated knee lift, toss, exaggerated knee lift, toss, exaggerated knee lift, and I'm only going to step one step basically up and one step basically back. So I don't want to do a trajectory. I don't want to do a walk. I want to do a toss with my shoulders down, and I want to do a exaggerated knee lift. Okay? Now, if you are wondering, well, your exaggerated knee lift might not look like mine, okay, that's fair. But here's the deal. You want to try to get to where you can do this kind of a move and hold your balance. And that's why I'm working pretty slowly. I don't want to do this fast. Why? Because I want to have to give my proprioceptive systems, which is all systems that we're working right now, a time to regulate and to do a readout and say, oh my goodness, she's tossing a 6-pound weight. And then she's asking me to stay on one leg as she's balancing that. See, that's the work I'm trying to get you to do right now. When you do this type of a thing and you do it slowly, where you have to really get on balance as you do this exaggerated knee lift. See there, I didn't balance quite there. I had to put my foot down. Get back on, bring it up, take a breath, take a breath. Then I want you to go on and graduate to holding the knee up in an exaggerated lift, and you're tossing several times before you have to put that leg down. Now, if you'll do this with me, this is like some of those yoga stances, you know, that they do in yoga classes, Pilates and all that. Well, this is doing that on steroids. Because why? Because you're tossing a weighted object. So even if you just have a simple ball and it's not even weighted, okay? This movement pattern on a single leg stance is an effort, okay? So soften your knee before you bring the leg up. You're gonna toss, and you're gonna try to toss as many times as you can with your knee up there. Oh, there it is. Keep track. How many tosses can you do before you're forced to put that leg down because you're losing your balance? That's how you play this game, okay? Keep your chin tucked, rib cage up. This is my challenged leg. So I'm gonna come up, keep my knee soft, try not to overlean. I'm gonna toss, then toss, take a breath, in through the nose if possible. I'm really working at this. I'm trying my best not to overlean. How do I do that? I keep my knee soft. See, your tendency is to lock your knee, which is gonna make you bypass some of the very muscles that you need to employ in order to stay on balance like this. So this kind of work in this Strength Training Friday is exact. It doesn't have to be like this huge complicated thing. Just try to stand on one leg while you toss a can of beans or a bag of beans or something like that, okay? Now I'm going wide, right? I'm gonna shift, right? I'm gonna go tap, I'm gonna go tap, and I'm gonna go tap, okay? Then I'm gonna come into a high squat or a high hip hinge, okay? I'm gonna push my butt back. My toes might be out just a little, not much, but a little. Now I'm gonna shift. I'm holding my little weighted ball. I have to get my balance because what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go tap, tap, tap. I'm gonna try my best not to lean into that second leg tap. Try to stay within this post legs. This is the regulation. This is the regulation leg, see? And anytime I see somebody doing this, see this little shift, then I know you're not in this leg again. I know you diverted, so I don't want you to divert. So why am I doing all this? Because when we start picking up heavy weights, we will have done what is called pre-fatiguing of these muscles. That's why I'm doing these lighter challenges, okay? So we got one more to do on either side with my weighted ball, because I can hold it, toss it, grab it in a different way than I grab my weights, okay? Now, if that's all you've got, then you can just place one weight back and forth. That's okay too. Okay, are you ready? So I'm gonna go shift, push the butt back a little, hold on to your ball, hold right into this post leg and go tap, tap, stay bent. Yeah, keep that butt pushing back. okay? So you're tapping, it should be mostly here. And if I see you shifting back and forth, if I see you doing this, then you're not really doing this smooth the way I'm wanting you to do it. It's okay. Okay, so I just want you to make sure you notice that. Okay, last time here, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna tighten my tummy, drop my shoulders, push my butt back a little. Keep my knee very bent. And this is the one where I have to really think hard, okay? Or I do that weird thing that you do when you have a weaker leg or a weaker arm or whatever. You tend to lock your leg. Don't lock your leg. Keep your butt pushing back. Breath, 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 breath. Try to stay in this leg. That's the point. Okay, okay. All right, here's my ball. Do a little backward release, okay? So that you're spinning your hand back. So I'm gonna come into my little hip hinge. I'm gonna do a backward release, keep my chin tucked. And this is one where if you have an osteoporosis diagnosis, be very careful with, seriously, this move. Why? Because it is going to put a whammy right in the middle upper back. It's supposed to. Stay aligned. Drop your shoulders. Go into your squat. As you're coming up, just do a little tiny toss backward. And when you're catching it, make sure your shoulders are down. Breath, breath, breath. So when you go down in the loading phase, push your butt back. Come up. And so why am I doing this little toss back? Again, I'm working with a lighter weight in various moves because I'm trying to warm up and prep not only your lower body, but your upper body for a higher weightlifting goal. Breath, just two more tosses. Breath and breath. Okay, last one with the light weight, bag of beans, bag of rice, a ball. And if you have nothing of that, then pick up your light weight. All right. So you're going to come here and you're going to come here, just like you're going to swing a bat or no, you wouldn't swing a bat because you'd be going out. Like you're going to chop wood. Drop your shoulders. Okay. Swing and come right here. Notice I did not swing my body. I swung my arms. As I came down, I pushed my butt back. I rotated my hip, but I didn't turn my upper body. I did that with my arms, okay? So as you're coming down, push your butt back and then shift those hips. Anybody that's played golf know that shift, okay? Here we go, right there. Keep your chin tucked. Everybody wants to look up. That's a strain on your neck. Here we go. Rah! Right there. Here we go. Push your butt back. Keep your chin tucked. One more. Here we go. Right there. Now come back up to neutral right here. Right here. Okay, you ready? So I'm going to go to the other side. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to come down here and go to the other side. Which way? This way. Okay. Breath. Here we go. Breath. Push your butt back. Figure out which way was the opposite of what you just did. Everybody's different. Okay. Push your butt back as you're coming down. Push your butt back. Yeah. You get that little shift through the hip where that knee is bent just a bit. All right. Breath. But you're not twisting your back is the point. The twisting is achieved through your limbs. Your trunk is holding pretty solid. you just do that little hip shift and bring it back down. And it'll really clue you in as to how your hips are working, your groin is working, your back is working, your shoulders are working. It's great. It's a great move. Okay, put that ball down. And now I'm gonna just check you on something before we pick up our weights. Okay. So what am I gonna check you on? So some of the greatest tools for mobility and strength is actually just simply working on different platforms. What do I mean by that? Well, the floor is a platform. The floor becomes a very different tool if I put the pad down, correct? Okay, so I'm just showing you the differences and how you can make them work different ways for you to have a superior workout with very little equipment. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. I don't have COVID. I have a frog in my throat. Okay, so where's my other platform I'm showing you? So some of you see this couch that my dogs are on. Well, that's a different height of a platform. Some of you, with whatever you've got going on with your back, your hips, whatever, need to use a lower platform to do this properly. The next thing would be stepping up on your chair, see? So that's about for me, at my height, that's about a 90-degree. See that? For some of you, this move right here would be this, because you're so short. I could name names here, but I won't. Okay. Which, it is what it is. Understand your platforms that you choose to work against will make a huge difference in how you work, depending on your height, your situation. Please, please use a lower platform if you need to, okay? I made my platform higher just now, and that's why I got this bar, because I want a third point of contact, because I'm going to take away one of my contacts, see? And I have this here, and then I come back down. So you may think this is not a big deal. Well, you do 10 taps on your chair with no pad on there, and then do 10 with the pad. You will see very quickly that it is a big deal to go up even 2 more inches right there. So see, if you're very short, you're already good to go. You don't have to put any pad on your chair or anything to make yourself work harder, okay? Yes, it's true. There are some moves that's going to be much harder for shorter people to do, and there's some moves that's going to be much harder for tall people to do, okay? So I'm taking my time, and I'm going all the way up to a touchdown. I'm paying very close attention to what I'm doing when I lift my leg, okay? Some of you, if you don't pay attention, you do what's called a cheater slide. You do this. See how I'm turning? So that, you know why you do that? It's so you don't have to fully lift that knee up higher. That's why. Pay attention and catch yourself if you happen to do the little cheater slide, okay? I'll call it the slug slide. How's that? Because we're all slugs at one point, right? Drop your shoulders. And yes, I'm doing several of these because this is not only training your leg, it's training your core, okay? And I have my little third point of balance or contact to keep my balance. I may use it or I may not use it. And you know what? Good for you if you don't use it. But some of us need to have it available. So if you're doing this out in the middle of the room and you're not doing it where you can put your hand on the wall, then make sure you have this little point of contact here while you do these repeated knee up, tap. See that? Tight tummy, knee up, press and tap. So I can just tell you that if I'm not concentrating and thinking about it, this is the leg that I want to cheat on. Why? Because this is my weaker structure right here because of my hip being replaced, even though my knee replaced is over here. Hips are huge with stability. That's why you got to work on it. Be aware of all the stuff that you can fall into because your muscles just work differently when you have a joint replaced. Okay, so here's my bar. I may use it again or not. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pick up weight, but I'm not going to pick up super lightweight. What am I going to pick up? I'm going to pick up medium to start with. What's medium? For me, medium can be anywhere from 8 pounds to 12. When I start picking up 15 in each hand, I'm talking about each hand, then it starts getting more into the heavier lifts for me, okay? So you got to determine right now what is heavy and what is medium and what is light. It's very important for you to do that. Now we're going to start with a classic because I've warmed your upper body up. I've got my proper stance. I'm going to push my butt back just a bit. I'm going to say rib cage up. And I'm going to turn my weights. And I'm going to pull 1 and then 2. Now as I do this, I'm going to come from a hip hinge. I'm going to come up as my arm does the curl. See that? It's a very slow and controlled move. Why? Because as I come up and then I push my butt back and come down, I am not only targeting biceps with this, but I'm targeting my core, okay, my back. And I'm just easing into it. See how I keep my elbows just a little soft? Don't squeeze your barrel right now. Pull it up and stand up. Now push the butt back and come down. Pull and push. See that? And when you get to the height, your height, you squeeze your butt. Yes. Right here, squeeze. Breath. Now we're going to do a holding. Then we're going to go to a different move. Okay, so stay with me. I've already pre-fatigued you. Now we're going to move up quite quickly. Okay, take a big deep breath. If you have osteoporosis, here's my caution. Do not do 2 hands at the same time, even though I'm going to do it. Many people can do this, but this pull, and right now, you see I've got 9 pounds in each hand. So what does that mean for the pull coming through my back? Right? Yeah, you see? That's a lot. So I'm saying if you know that you need to be careful, you do 1 at a time. So I hope I'm clear on that. And every time you come up, you squeeze your butt. And every time anybody else who does it with both, you squeeze your butt. So you're right here, your elbows are soft. They're right here on top of the thigh. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin, and come back down. Okay? So up, I'm on all 4 corners of my feet. When I go down, I'm pushing to the heels because I want to keep my back extended. Yes! So here's the deal. When you get to where you do a solid set with this weight, then you do the next set. Okay? So I'm telling you, many times, unless you're working personally with somebody and they're doing everything with you as I'm doing, to do 3 full sets of 10 to 12 on any move. I'm just using this one right now to explain this to you. It's a lot, but you see, it is part of the progression. And so somebody would say, well, you know, you're just not getting any benefit from doing more repetitions. And I would ask that same person, well, are you stronger on your preferred side of your body, like your arm, like if you're right-handed? Is your right side stronger or not? You see where I'm going with this? This is not a waste of time, is my point. Okay? And in your progression, if you don't want to hurt yourself, you have to get to where you can do some of these repetitions. So I'm thinking that we've pretty much gone into 2 sets of 10. So we're going to turn. Now I'm going to stand up. See that? Do you remember some of the moves we did to begin with our sit to stand whole thing? You notice I haven't moved my little bench pad here. I haven't moved it yet. See that? So I'm going to step right here. I'm going to go wide, just like I had my bands on my legs, right? And I'm going to go into my heels. Here's my 9-pound and my 9-pound. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm going to go down into the heels. I'm going to tap the floor, and I'm going to tap the back parts of my legs on the bench. Then I'm going to pull up. Yes. Your butt right now should be squeezing. Okay, ready? In through the nose. Keep your chin tucked. Go all the way down. Touch the backs of your legs on the chair. Here we go. Push into the heels. Big breath. Here we go. Push into the heels as you're coming down. The back part of the legs touching the little pad or the back of your chair. Go into your heels up. And pull right here. Now, before we go down again, breathe in through the nose, out, and go shoulders to ears. Drop them down. Shoulders to ears. Your butt should be super tight right now. Shoulders to ears. And come back down, and come back down, and come back down. Heels all the way down, all the way down. Touch the back part of your hamstrings on the pad. Stay into your heels, stay in there. Bring your weights right here and go punch, 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 punch. Breath, 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 and come up. I can tell you loved that. I know. This is where many of you, who I won't say names, would love to reach out and just bop me on the head. Too bad. Okay. Wide. Do you remember us doing this with the band? Yes. Step back. Okay. So I'm going to step, but I'm going to step very wide. See that? Yeah. Now I'm managing 18 pounds through my spine. Yeah, it's 9 pounds here and 9 pounds here. But guess what? When I do this move, I have to manage that through my core. So release your grip, drop your shoulders, pull back. Don't jerk. Don't do that jerk pull. You want to squeeze. How do you do that? You do that by lowering that center of gravity, bending the back knee. Pull back so that you don't do that funny little jerk with your back. Okay, again, 18 pounds. Ready? Drop your shoulders, soften the knees, push your butt back, real wide, and forward. See that? Yeah. Now bend that back knee, bend that back knee, bend that back knee. Don't curl your shoulders. No, no, no. Bend the back knee, go down as far as you can. Now hang out down there. Say rib cage up and do little tiny pulses. See the pulsing? Yeah. Drop your shoulders. Keep your chin tucked. Stay down in this wide split stance. You're like you're trying to push the knee in the back down to the floor. Now you're not going to make it down there, but that's where you're trying to go with. Make sure your toe is forward. Breath, 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 okay? Slide back. Don't jerk up in order to get back. Okay, other side, we have that little task to do. Are you ready? Big breath. This time, I'm going to change my weight position. You don't need to if this is all you can do. But I'm going to put my weights right here. Then I'm going to go wide and up. See that? So who would I say should not do this? If you have a significant forward rounded shoulder stance, or you have a forward head, then I would not do it on my shoulders. Because see, when I go down, I gotta stay really extended in my back, or I'm going to put a lot of load on a poor posture. So until you correct your posture, you have to do it differently. So that means that I wouldn't put these on your shoulder, okay? If I can't drop a plumb line from your earlobe, through your shoulder, excuse me, through your hip, then I wouldn't have you put these up here. Let me take care of this. I can get that back. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. So come on back up. Now I'm going to take these weights and I'm going to put them over here. Okay. Now I'm going to do a totally different move. It's calibrated for the big, strong muscles. And I'm going to go up in my weight. So I went from 9. I'm not going to stop at 12. I'm going to go up to 15 right now. So I'm telling you, that's what I'm picking up. If you're getting pushed sufficiently at what you have, that's fine, or just go up 1, okay? So I'm going to come pull, okay? I'm going to step into my arena of my chair right here. See that? And I'm stepping wide. Yeah, remember we practiced this with the band? Just a second. I have a nose itch. It happens. Put your weight down and get that nose itch and then you're fine. Okay, you ready? So here I am, wide stance. Notice, I still have this pad here. Now I'm going to move that pad out in just a minute. That's the progression. Are you ready? So I'm going to go back down. I'm going to let this take me down. I'm going to push my butt back until what? Until I feel the back part of my hamstring touching, not landing on, but touching the chair. So I'm going to go down, 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 touch. I'm going to hang out down here. I'm going to pull these right here with my elbows back. Then I'm going to act like I'm going to put them down, but I don't. Then I'm going to pull those elbows back and then down. Stay in your heels. Breath. You should be touching the back part of your hamstring on the chair. Breath. You're in your heels. Breath. Just pull your elbows back. Back down. Put your elbows back. Now come up. Woo! Take a big breath. Stay wide. Now we're going to do 4 where we're going to actually put them down. Okay? So we're going to go down, put our weights down, touch the back of the hamstrings on the chair, release, then grab and push into the heels and come back up. Okay? These are very heavy. For me, you need to pick what's heavy for you. Take a breath. In through the nose. Try to do that diaphragmatic push. Breathing. Here we go. The hips go out. The hips push back, I should say. My chin tucks. My rib cage is up. I'm going to go down. I'm going to put these weights down. I'm going to put the backs of my legs on the pad, on the chair. Then I'm going to pick them up and squeeze my butt. Now I'm going to push back again. Line everything up. Backs of the hamstrings. Push. And you're right here. One more, just one more. Do it with me. Do it with me. Here we go. Okay, push and back up. Nice. Okay, I'm going to take the pad off the chair. Okay, now I'm going to go down. I'm going to touch the backs of the hamstrings right on that chair. But I'm cradling my weights right here on top of my knee, on my thigh. So I'm going to go push into my heels, lift, and come back down. Touch. Act like you're going to come up, then go back down. Act like you're going to come up, then go back down. Act like you're going to come up and then go back down. Act like you're going to come up, go back down, and set. Okay? Big breath. Yeah, you should have felt that in your legs for sure. Okay. Here's my heavier weight. So I'm doing this to encourage you to handle appropriate weight for a good load for you. If you have issues with elbows or whatever, shoulder, do more repetitions than I'm going to do right now. So I'm just going to, see, I'm going to let these go out like this. See that? I'm leaning in with my hip. I'm going to pull and bring them right to the shoulder. So yeah, I'm doing the same move that I did before, but I'm sitting. I'm going to hip hinge. So as you come down, you're very controlled. You let your hand open against that weight. Here we go. Curl and curl. See that? Yes. Now, you will tell right off if it's too much for either something you have going on in your wrist, your hands, your elbow, whatever. If you need to go lighter, go lighter. And how do I know that? When you're using screwed up form, that's number one. Breath. But if you're right on, your chin's tucked, your shoulders are down. Most importantly, your elbows need to be touching your body, your waist. Okay? There's a joke there somewhere, but I won't do it. Okay, here we go. Breath. Hip hinge. Ah! You should feel the biceps, the forearms. Yes. Let's see your whole back extensors. Your hips are all working to do this. I'm not doing a big jerk on my arm, on my lift in order to get it up there. I'm going through the move, pulling. Got it? I got two more. Breath. Ah! Back down. Here we go. Ah! Yes. Okay. Put those right down. Open your hands just like that. See? Open at the hip. Go back. See? See this? So let me tell you something. I'm going to pick up one weight here in just a second. If you're sitting at the edge of your chair, you're in good line, and I am with you, and I push you back, I would be checking with my other hand right here. And if I feel you bending it, then we will go to not a heavy load, and we will get our line up correctly. Now, if I put a weight right here, and I go back, and then I pull, see that? So I do a sit back, basically. Wide stance, breathe, and I go like that, and I have a weight here, okay? Ooh, now, what if I do this, and I pull one leg, and then the other leg? You see where that can go? So right now, we're gonna use this heavier weight that you chose. One, I'm gonna bring it right here. And I'm just gonna cradle it right there, right above my sternum there, okay? Right under my collarbone, okay? Then I'm gonna open, go back as far as I feel I can, and then come back. See? I'm not gonna go all the way. I'm just gonna go back to here. Then I'm gonna come forward. Breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, if possible. And you'll see me making little corrections because this move tends to slide you back. And I want to keep my sit down bones right at the edge of the chair. Not so you're gonna fall off your chair. Okay, now stay with me. So I'm gonna hold right here, and then I'm gonna lift one leg, then the other leg. Breath, 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 breath. Stay open, breath, stay extended, breath, 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 and come forward. And bring that right here, right here. See, I just let it balance right there on top, right above my knee, okay? Okay? So I'm going to now hold this right here with this hand, bring my other hand, put it back here, okay? Then I'm gonna say rib cage up, and I'm gonna lift my leg barely an inch, barely. I'm gonna open back, use this other hand to push, keep your shoulders straight and keep your rib cage up, and then lift and then go kick out. Lift and kick, lift. See, it's just a little pushing. I shouldn't say kick, I should say push, 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 rib cage up. Two more, two more, two more. And come back and come back. That should have got your attention. Okay, see how I just placed the weight over to the other leg? Rib cage up. Put my other hand here. I'm stabilizing this right here on my, many of you have these weights. If you don't have these weights, just, it can work with the regular hand weights too. It could work with a bag of beans. You know, you get the idea. Here we go, back, just a little, engage, rib cage up, lift just 1 inch off the ground and do that little press. See how I'm just pressing my toe up? Yeah, press it, press it, press it, press it, and come back and come back. Big breath, yes. Gonna put this weight back over here. So, if we revisited that, which I hope to do sometime next week, I don't want to say which day, because you'll say, oh, she's going to do double ups. And I'm like, then you won't come on. All right, are you ready? So I'm going to come from this position now, all the way down to the chair. I don't have the pad here anymore. I'm going to go into my heels. First thing I look, you've got to be wide, okay? And use this to get yourself into neutral. Then go down and grab your weight and come up against that, all right? Now we're gonna go right back to where we were when we started today's session. We had a band on our legs, yes. That was all pre-fatiguing for these moves. So I'm stepping wide and forward. Then I'm gonna bend the back knee and pull my leg back. So this is the push and then the pull. You couldn't walk if you weren't good at doing push pulls, okay? That's why I use them as a training modality. Okay, line up, you ready, tight, drop your shoulders. Don't go up and then back. You do not wanna do that. You wanna bend the back knee, tighten up, pull back, even if it's a short pull, okay? Then step forward, bend that back knee, okay? Don't go up. That's a for sure. Pull my back, move. You go back and you do that pull through the hips. Yeah, okay, take a breath. And we're gonna go up and back. Now don't bend the knee, just go forward and then back. Okay, now if you're feeling pretty strong, I'm gonna take these weights and I'm gonna go up and place them right on my shoulders. I can keep my fingers under there. Okay, that pads it kind of. So now you feel a very different trajectory. Now I'm stepping forward, stepping back, but let's step back and then forward and back and forward. So you're doing all of this. I'm doing it with a 30-pound weights coming right down through my spine here. That's why your lineup when you're doing weights is so incredibly important. Okay. So I'm just doing several steps, not doing anything other than stepping back, rolling from my toe into my heel, keeping my rib cage up, breath, and come back. Now I'm going to bring these weights, and I can do it up one of two ways. I can roll it, or I can keep my tummy super tight, and I can just do a little jump, and it unloads right into my hands, okay? Shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. So a good time to do your shoulders with heavier weights is right now, because we're ratcheting it down, and this is a good time to get all those arms, that upper back really squeezed in there, okay? So that your shoulders start being able to hold you upright instead of rounding. You get the idea, right? So here we go. And then ratchet it down and woo! So that was bands, and that was using pre-fatiguing to really get into some of those muscles in your legs today. Okay, but do it safely. So good job, you guys.